Hello there everybody and welcome to episode 8 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play series I should say, not season. At the minute we're sat outside Coventry, just outside the edge of the train station. We can see Coventry there in the background, with one of our brick delivery wagons just heading down to the port, which is just here. Unfortunately, episode 7 had some technical issues at the end where I lost about 15 minutes worth of footage. I don't believe much construction was done in that time. All I did do was duplicate the iron ore train that we'd started in the last episode, and I believe I also unlocked a few new vehicles in that time. But I didn't actually put any on any of the routes yet, so not too much was missed during the foul up, shall we say. But that can't be changed now. It is what it is, and we are where we are. So let's press on, shall we, and see what we're going to do today. I think what I want to do is get a coal train running between the mine and the steel mill down in Ripley. There's the second iron ore train that I purchased during the recording error, so that's what you missed there. And like I said, I don't think there was much else missed. But yes, back to today. That was the Alexa chiming in, although I probably cut it out. So, yeah, it made me jump. Because I'm downstairs by myself and I heard this voice shouting at me. And, yes, it was a little unnerving for a few moments until I realised what it was. So, let's just pause it for a second while I sort her out. So, hopefully she doesn't interrupt me again and give me a second heart attack. So I'll be with you in just a second. Okay, so I'm back. I think I've sorted her out and she's quietened down, and hopefully that will be the last interruption we have from her during this session. Now, where was I? Yes, coal train. That's the thing I want to get done in this episode. It's about 3.5 million. Oh, yes. What did we unlock that was cut off during the recording error? We unlocked the L'Obsession. Possibly. Who knows? We unlocked a steam bus, our first steam road vehicle. And I was discussing whether to use it or not, and I opted against it because even though it has a greater capacity and higher power, there's not much, well, there's no difference in speed, and the emissions are a lot higher, so I opted to stick with the stagecoaches for the time being. I also unlocked higher capacity freight wagons. We can now transport 5 as opposed to 4, and they also have slightly improved speed as well and lower emissions. So at some point we do need to start swapping over the road vehicles that we have. At the minute I'm still running the original wagon trains, so they need changing. Obviously when we do that, because of the increased capacity that we're going to have, we may find ourselves with too many vehicles on each line, so there may have to be some adjustments made there. Can we replace any of them at the minute? We could probably replace the ones on the brick delivery line. Let's have a look, shall we? 14 vehicles, replace all. Yes. And they automatically get coloured red, like their predecessors. Could we do the same here? 26 vehicles, yes we can. Have they been automatically coloured in? I don't think they have. So let's do that now. There we go. And now I'm curious as to whether these did get coloured. Yes, they did. So I'm not sure why the others did not, but it's sorted now. So that's 2 lines dealt with, although I do think now we're going to have too many on here, so we may have to sell a few of them. We can check that later when they have a time to settle somewhat. We're not going to be able to afford to replace all of these. We have about 100 on this line, so we'll leave them for the time being. But these are the ones I want to replace next. We'll come back to that. We have the ability to borrow 500,000. I was just thinking to myself about this train, whether we could get it done sooner rather than later, and the answer is no, because even if we maxed out our loan, we'd still be several £1,000,000 short of what we need. In the meantime, I'll just set the game speed to ×4, the date speed to 1/4, let some money accumulate while we have a look around and see how we're getting on. Our trains are leaving Coventry with a full load of passengers. Almost full load there, heading into Coventry. And over in Morley, it's a similar story. Well, no it's not. That's not nearly a full load at all, but oh well. Bus service is quite busy, although the stops in and around Morley itself aren't, so that's okay. Not too concerned about that at the minute. So we've jumped to 1 point. Oh, new trains. Let's just pause it for a second. We have the Russian Class B 280 Baldwin and a horse-drawn streetcar. That raises the question now, do we replace our locomotives that we have on the lines at the moment, or do we continue to wait for the money for the coal train? I think the best thing to do is wait for the coal train. It has also just occurred to me that to get from the depot to the coal train, you would have to come here, in it here, and then back from the steel mill. That may confuse matters, so to chivvy him along a little bit, I shall add a line like so, with a one-way signal, so the train can just head straight onto here. And is it worth having a loop like that? Probably not. You can just go there. I'll see if I can fit one in. If I can, we'll do it. I can. So, does it look okay? Yes, and yes. So let's do it with a one-way signal. There we go. So the train can make a direct line to the coal station, the coal mine station, rather than going all around the houses. Now, can we afford the train yet? No, it's around about 3.5 million. What I'll do is, rather than rebuild a train from scratch, I'll simply clone one of the iron ore trains, recolour it, and put it on the appropriate line. Let's just verify exactly how much that would cost. To duplicate, it would be 3.1 million, so we're not too far off. Shouldn't take too long to get there. In the meantime, let's have a look. We'll start with the logging trains. Let's compare the new locomotives and see what sort of difference they make. So at the minute we have the Class GV Russian. We can upgrade to either a Baldwin, which is over double the power, much higher speeds in terms of reaching the top speed, it's almost halved. Or we have the Class B, which is a little less power and also a little slower to get to its top speed. So I think we go for the Baldwin if we do opt to replace them, which I think we shall. But we'll wait for now because I'd rather get the coal train out and on the line, which we can now afford. So let's clone him. He needs to be put onto the coal freight line. He also needs to be managed, coloured in black, and have his name changed. So this is Coal, and this is Coventry to Ripley. There we go. Where is he at the moment? He's waiting for clearance to pass through the station, and hopefully he should go this way around and then this way around. As we can see, the coal has started to arrive on the platform, ready for his arrival. That's brilliant. Let's just check he goes the right way here. Yes. And again, let's wait and see if he goes the correct way when he gets to this little branch line here. I'm going to say yes. So let's see, shall we? Let's see what he does. Does he have common sense? No. No, he does not. Oh well. We'll leave him to it. So we may as well get rid of that. We didn't get a refund, but it tidied the landscape up a little bit, so that's okay. So now that we have that coal train running, we can go back to these vehicles and look at replacing the locomotives. So if we get rid of the Russian class GVs and replace them with a Baldwin, that'll cost us 1.7 million. We can easily afford that. So let's go ahead and do that. Colour them brown. See, that's let's just slow it down a second. The colour scheme there, or the parts of the engine that are painted look a lot better than they did on the Class GV. Was it the GV? Well, whatever it was. With only the boiler being coloured. Looks a lot better, a lot more natural. So let's see what sort of impact the faster trains and the more powerful. Yes, more powerful, not faster than the same speed. Let's see what impact having more powerful locomotives is going to have on the line and how much money it makes us. At the moment we can't replace any others because we're sub 1 million. Or can we? How much would it cost to replace one of them? Yes, it was a Class GV, sorry, just go back to what I was talking about. 851, so no, we can't replace it even if we wanted to, which is unfortunate, but it surely won't take long for us to be able to do so. There goes our iron ore train. He's made his first delivery. In fact, he's made two. Has our coal train started on his way back yet? Yes, he has. Not as. Let me just check that this line is set up correctly. Yes, load coal, unload coal. There, perfect, that's fine. So, now again, we're back to the waiting game, so we'll do the usual time manipulation while we accumulate some funds. And then we'll look to start replacing some more of our locomotives with the more powerful variants that we have available. I think the ones we'll replace first will be either the tool freight trains or the iron ore trains. Now the iron ore trains do make us more money, so they might be a leading contender. So let's, yes, executive decision made. We'll replace these ones first. So scrap the GV, add the Baldwin, 870,000 to replace them both. Let's go ahead and do that. Give them a repaint, and there we go. Absolutely perfect. Next, let's see if we can do the trains running the tool freight line. Yes, we can. We've got 2.1 million. Let's go ahead and make that change there. Nope, we've lost a million. We've gained a million. Well, we've gained enough. There we go. So I do believe the only trains now we need to replace, or locomotives rather, is the one pulling the coal freight train and the ones on our also our passenger ones as well. Yes, in fact it's probably worthwhile to do the passenger ones next before anything else, because this line I believe is fairly profitable, and it could even allow us to, if we needed to, add even more carriages onto our passenger line to help ensure we're clearing the platform at all times and we're not leaving people stranded when there's no room on the train for them to board. Let's do that now if we can afford to do so. So we want to drop the GV, add the Baldwin across the board. Can't quite afford it, 3.2 million. However, we'll leave it open, and then as soon as we can, we shall change it. Okay, that took longer than I thought it would, but we're there now. I would have cut that out to save you staring at the screen as long as I had to. But that's our passenger trains now handled and upgraded, and they look lovely. They look very American. I think maybe it's the cow catcher on the front. That does it for me. Next up, we want to do the same to our trains that are hauling the planks to the tool factory. If we pause it now, I believe we can afford to do it immediately, so let's go ahead and do that. Yes, just about. Recolour them to the appropriate colour, and away he goes. Now, as I predicted, the increased capacity of these road vehicles means we have backlog at the depot. Not the depot, sorry, the freight yard. So we'll just get rid of a handful, about half a dozen or so I think it was, and wait for them to rebalance themselves across the line and see how that does. Down here we don't appear to have had any ill effects. If anything, we could even do with a few more. Although that ship has only just left and the next one is still a fair distance away, so it might be okay as is. Now, can we replace these? We have 85 of them. To replace them all would cost us 2.6 million. We have 1.6, so we're a million short. Again, I'm just going to leave this screen open. There we go. Didn't take long at all. Hopefully they won't empty this platform, although I don't think that they will. The other ones we have to do are the food delivery trucks into Morley, as well as the trucks that deliver the bricks into Morley as well. So let's see how much these would cost. There's only 8, so it's only going to cost 227,000. However, at the minute we're in the negative, so we'll have to wait just a minute or two, and hopefully soon we can go ahead. Oh no, we've lost even more. So I'll just hang about here. May put a cut in depending how long it takes. There we go. Didn't need a cut. It was pretty quick. Lastly then, we have the food delivery trucks in Morley. To replace all them. Just under 300. There we go. Nice and quick. Is that all? No, it's not. We have the delivery trucks into Bridgeport as well, so let's an achievement. Earn 1 million with ships within a month. Beautiful. Only 4, so we should be able to replace these immediately. Yes, we can. In fact, we may want to look to add a couple more onto that because it's quite full. So we'll upgrade that to 6 trucks and see how we get on. One of the other unlocks that I got during the recording error, the American version of the Europeans that we're using now, so there's no need to look at them. Yes, one of the other unlocks that I did get that I've only just remembered was the horse-drawn USA streetcar and the St. Petersburg. At the moment, we're using that, and that's what we've unlocked. Very little difference. So we'll stick to what we have for the time being. They're doing a decent enough job. Yes. Our coal train is still running the Class GV. So let's go ahead and replace him with a Baldwin as well. There we go. Give him a quick spray job. And when we can, we shall also duplicate him. How much does he make actually for a run? I've not checked yet. 723,000. I think now that we've done what we needed in terms of waiting for money, we can resume the normal sort of speeds for the game. And let's get down and actually have a good look at these trains now that they've all been upgraded. We're going to see 2. We're going to see the coal train pass by in front of us, and over our shoulder in a few moments we should see the iron train make its way past as well. Just wait for the iron train. There goes the signal. There it comes. Beautiful. There we go. Nice bit of eye candy for us all. Let's see how much he costs to duplicate. 3.4 million, so we're not going to be doing that just yet. But we can wait. There's no great rush. So, what we want to start looking at now is how we're going to get the steel from the mill to the machinery factory over the mountain here. I think the best way is through this valley, like that. Yes, skirt past the farm, through the valley and into there. And then we can also run a line. Perhaps we also run a line off this way in towards the mountain, possibly tunnel through this little bit here to reduce the noise in Bridgwater, and then bring this down into here, or even into its own dedicated platform where we can take the planks. Although saying that, we have a sawmill over the river, and it may be better to bring this online and ship these by road, and we can supply the logs from here, but we're probably going to want to do that by train, and that would make us a separate and disconnected freight line, which is something I like to avoid, so I'll have to make a decision there. But yeah, regardless of which way we decide to go, the next stage is going to be connecting the steel mill to the machines factory. It's just, like I said, it's just a question of how we get the lumber to the machinery factory as well. Along with the steel is fairly easy. Either through this valley here, or around the farm and up this way. That's okay. First of all, I think we want to add a second coal train on when we can. He's making about 1.5 million per year if he gets 2 deliveries in a year, which with the improved power of the Baldwin he should start doing more regularly. That's nice to see decent income there. The iron trains themselves are doing very well. There is even scope to have a third and maybe a fourth iron train running this line. But if we do that, we're going to want some extra intermediate signals along the line to ensure there's no hold-ups and delays. But in the meantime, I think we want to start looking at how we're going to run this line from the steel mill over to the machinery factory. So at the moment we are at elevation around about 7 meters there or thereabouts, perhaps even a little lower, 4 meters. So the track is at 4 meters. We come up as high as 35 meters and we drop down here to 35 meters. So we're going to be climbing. It's just a matter of how high we climb, when, and to what extent the gradient is going to take. I think the better way is to go through this valley here, the wider of the two, because this will absolutely guaranteed form a tunnel. Whereas if we go this way, it opens up the possibility of utilising this farm here at some point with a little branch off. And it also opens the possibility of using this coal mine here as well. So we just close the contour layer. We will need to to increase the amount of tracks and platforms at this station, because we don't want to be sharing platforms where we can avoid it, because we don't want trains waiting on top of one another, especially if one's loading and it's waiting for a delivery that can't get onto the platform because the train is waiting to load. So if we head back this way just after these signals here, create a nice rapid junction which looks fine aesthetically. Branch there as well, and then these can just slide into these third and fourth platforms or tracks here. Include the diamond slip switch to allow crossing over and switching of lines. One-way signal, and we also want a signal protecting junction there, and I dare say we want signals here and here for the trains heading in so they don't block each other up. Then what we want to do is, got a couple of farms here, so need to bear in mind possibly connecting to those later. So if we have a straight there, and then we slide him there, and him into there, just run him out a little further still, to make room for a crossover point here, like that. So then either platform can go onto the correct side to access and exit the station orderly Now, we want to come off this way and we want to start rising up somewhat. Perhaps if we go something like that to make it as gradual as we can, so as not to overburden the trains. Oh, we don't want to go that high. Perhaps like that. That would give us a medium gradient. We're going to have a tunnel here. Suppose that's no longer avoidable. But, so we're at 30 odd meters on this track, which is where roughly we want to be. So if we now keep him on the level as he goes into this tunnel, it's costing us an arm and a leg. Absolute fortune. Can we do this differently? Just pause it. Can we bring him around this way? And then down here, it'll be a bit tight. It'll be very tight. No, I think we could do it. If we just take these tracks back up. Fortunately, we're getting a refund on most of the track. So our mistake, or rather my mistake, isn't proving overly costly. I like the track, not the trees, please. There we go-ish. There we go. Last one, yes. Okay. So let's try that again. And instead, we shall immediately, if we keep flat on this curve, it's going to be a very slow and very tight curve, but that's fine. And then we start rising up a little. Say to there. Check the contours. The elevation is only 7 meters, so we need to go a lot higher. Don't want to delete the farmers' fields. Let's see what elevation that leaves us with now. 16 meters, so we're halfway there. So then if we come around again and elevate it even higher now. Again, we've had to have a tunnel, so we could have gone the way we were going originally. Unless we take it back and just have a... Yes, we'll take it back and have a steeper incline and try and avoid a tunnel for as much as we can, or as long as we can. So we don't want to cut off the farmer's field. If we let the game determine the incline, as long as it isn't a maximum incline, I think we're going to be okay. Let's have a look here now. 22 meters, that's better. We don't want that incline. That's okay. Right, if we can take even more off, that'll be perfect, which we can. Incline now. There we go, 30 meters. That's where we want to be. So now we're going to have a tunnel. I don't think that's going to be any way around that. So now you want to maintain your current elevation. And then in fact, no. We'll let you come up a little to come down, just so we exit the tunnel earlier. Because I'm mindful that we may want to connect in here, and if the tunnel exit is all the way over here, then it's going to be a nightmare to connect it up. So we'll do that. Let's verify elevation. 50 meters, heading down to 35. Not too bad. If we start heading down this way, like so, although that might be a little steep. Let's go back. And we shall try that again. How does that look? It looks a little ridiculous, if I'm honest. Maybe we just go with a viaduct. Yeah. We'll have to have a viaduct there. That's okay, it looks the part, so can't complain too badly or too much. And then no. And then we want to come down at a more gentle gradient, like so. And then if we put our station in now, we'll go for 2 tracks, 240 meters, and we'll have him situated. Did we have him situated there? Or shall we just go parallel? We'll go parallel, like that. Change his name to Bridgwater Machine Factory. Machines, I should say. There we go. And then drop in the track connection along with a diamond slip switch. There we go. Got a slight wiggle, but I'm going to ignore it and pretend I never saw it. So now we need to do a road connection onto the machinery factory like that. That ensures we have a connection between the factory and our station. Perfect. So, signals. One way there. One way there. That is on the correct side, isn't it? Yes. And then we'll have ones just by the viaduct. Same on the opposite side. We'll have them just before the tunnel. Like that. Likewise on the other side of the tunnel. Like that. And we'll have one more set in here. And I think we'll also have a signal just there to act as a clearing signal for any trains waiting to pull out. I think that's good. So let's start, or let's set up the line. Now you are carrying steel, which is a nice silver stroke grey colour. I say that one. We have an unlimited wait time at the steel mill, and this is steel freight from Ripley to Bridgwater. Lovely. We can immediately afford to assign a train, and I dare say we could probably get 2 straight off the bat. That's the one I want. check how he'll handle that. That's really good. Nope, we can only afford one, so we'll go for one. Give him the correct colour and name. Steel. Ripley to Bridgwater. No, there we go. Lovely. Oh, can't see the line. There we go. So, that's the steel transportation taken care of. All we need to do now is do the same for the planks. However we decide to do that. We have upgraded all of our trucks. Do they need colouring? Let me check. I think they may. Nope, they didn't. Yes, that's all fine. Not too much build up here or delay there, that's fine. Similarly here, that's okay. What about here? Let's, while we're here, just get some more of these. That's 12, let's go for 16. Like so. The buses are okay. We need more here. Go for 12 again, like so. That's all okay, that's all okay. How are we doing over here? Ah! Didn't change these. Now we have. There we go. So anyway, yes. Ship has just left with a full load and we have 20, give or take, on the platform. I think by the time he arrives, there'll be almost a full load waiting, so he's not going to be hanging around too much. The steel has started to be loaded onto the freight platform at the station. The train is just passing through the sawmill station now. We've got time to get down there. Coal is lacking, which is to be expected as we only have one train providing it at the moment. But anyway, that's for a future episode. This has been episode number 8. I hope you enjoyed it, and I also hope, I'll find out in a few moments, that there's been no issues with capturing and recording. I hope to see you again in episode 9. Other than that, all that remains for me to say is take care of yourselves out there, and that's bye for now.